scales Timothy's forehead, and it is burning hot. Timothy does not get better through the next few cold days, so Mrs. Frisby decides that what she must do for Timothy. She sets off to see the old mouse, Mr. Ages. He is the one to go to when you are hurt or sick. When Mrs. Frisby gets to Mr. Ages' house, he gives her 3 packages of medicine and says that Timothy will be healed in about 3 weeks. On her way home, she sees a crow sitting on the fence, but as Mrs. Frisby got closer to the fence, she could see that the crow had a string that was tied around its leg, and the string was tangled to the fence. Mrs. Frisby goes over to the fence and starts chewing through the string and sets the crow free. The crow says his name is Jeremy, and if she needs anything at all, just to come and ask him. After that, Mrs. Frisby hurried home to her family the next morning. The next morning, Mrs. Frisby got up early to gather the food. A thought came into her head: moving day. Moving day is when the animals that live in the garden patch move to their summer quarters because Mr. Fitzgibbon the farmer comes to plow his garden, which destroys the animals' houses. Mr. Ages told her that Timothy would recover in 3 weeks. There wouldn't be enough time for him to get better before the farmer plowed. How do you think Mrs. Frisby will find a solution so she doesn't have to move so soon? You will have to read the book to find out who the rats of Nimh are and how they connected with Mrs. Frisby.
Excellent, Zula. Okay, before we do applause,